today is Andrew Bell, the CEO of Red Rock Resources. Now, Andrew, I believe you are travelling, you are abroad, you're visiting different places. So let's just get a bit of a catch-up first of all. So I believe, are you in Burkina Faso right now?
No, I'm in London right now.
Sorry, I thought you'd gone, Andrew. When do you go?
No. Well, I shall be going to Congo.
Right,
The
okay.
reason I'm going to Congo is somebody said to me a few days ago, can't you just sign something electronically online? And I said, yeah, well, we did that recently with the US with something, online electronic signature. I can assure you it doesn't work that way in Congo. Um, and when I was out there last time, we made enormous progress and ended up with signature on something on a piece of paper. And I got on the plane. Unfortunately, the other party that was meant to be signing at the last moment didn't. And so things have slightly trod water since. So my being there will, for a couple of days, everything will be achieved, I believe.
Okay, well, yeah, I hope so. It does see it can seem a little bit strange that you have to fly out rather than do something online. But if that's the way it works in the Congo, then that's it, isn't it? But the plan is to everything's set to get that final sign off, get that signature, and then put this situation to bed and effectively get those the monies owed into Red Rock.
Oh, yes, yes. I mean, I think the ability to do online signatures of important documents, contracts and things, that is in commercial circumstances. I mean, you couldn't do it with some kinds of transaction even here, but in commercial transactions, it is something that you have in a high trust society. See, and that may not be a high trust society.
Okay, okay. Okay, so that's the purpose of the Congo trip. You're also going to Burkina Faso, aren't you? I wonder if you can let us know what you're doing
No,
there.
no, I'd say I'm not going to Burkina Faso. What's happening in Burkina Faso is we were halfway through drill program. We're doing we're getting the results from the other half,
Okay.
and we'll announce them as soon as we get them. But, I think they're going to be much like the first half. And if you look at the announcement of that, that was pretty good. And I think we're raising some external capital, which I think we said we would. And everything's looking very positive in Burkina Faso. But one reason it's worth talking about at the moment is they just had a military coup, second this year. And people, I don't think, understand Burkina Faso well, but those people, they're soldiers. I mean, the nature of the people there is different from, say, neighboring Ivory Coast or other places, but they're probably military. They've had 13 coups since independence, which is a record. And the coup in the spring was because of the government felt to be too close to the French, which is a bad thing in West Africa these days, and ineffective in fighting the Al Qaeda type people up in the north and east of the country. And the French have been trying to do this thing that the Americans and we try to do in Afghanistan, and the West seems to like doing, which is not having anyone really on the ground, as few people as possible, so that they can't get hurt. The danger of that is that in the end, trying to do everything at a distance and with inadequate numbers proves ineffective. And what some of these West African countries are doing, one after another, is booting out the French and getting in the Wagner group from Russia, who shoot everybody and are quite effective. And so this new guy came in the spring, and in the background of the photographs was this captain. And a few months later, the man who came in has not been so effective, and he started taking an interest in politics when what the army had wanted him to do is focus on military stuff. And also he was suspected of getting a bit too close to the French. So now he's been got rid of. There were demonstrations outside the French embassy. And, when he gave a speech saying, we have friends, there was one or two flags in the background. And I think one of them was the Malian flag, the other was the Burkina flag, and the other was the Russian flag. I think you're going to see probably more effective military action against the terrorists. But when these coups occur, what it doesn't do is it doesn't affect the operation of civil society. And they're pretty good at having these coups now. They know how to get through them, and they want all normal business to continue and people to stay in place. So I think there were some newspaper articles just after this coup when people got interviewed at companies that were operating there. For example, 3 big companies, West African Minerals, IM Gold, and Endeavour, who between them produce about 1.3 million ounces a year. And that's going to increase. And all of them were saying, yes, things carry on as normal, and we're not a bit concerned about it. And their share prices tell the same story. So Burkina Faso is obviously a country where there's huge mineral potential. The greenstones there have hardly been explored. It's quite immature, the exploration, and as a result, the average mine opened there has a higher grade than in most other places in the world.
So, and do these political situations then affect the operations of Red Rock at all, or not?
No.
Okay. So what's...
I mean, Ali in our office says, oh, that's interesting, because this new president is actually a distant cousin.
Okay, of an employee of Red Rock.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Interesting. So how are the operations going then? What's the sort of latest status over there from Red Rock's point of view?
It's really good. I think we're operating extremely effectively. The drilling we've done has been very cost effective, and I think the laboratories, SGS, who are using Surveillance Générale, they're doing a good job. We're getting the next batch of results back very shortly, and we'll make an announcement, and I think people will be able to see.
Okay.
But we're not. People may not have heard of Burkina Faso. They may not have been there on holiday. But if you actually look at the progress of the gold mining industry there, it's been terrific, and it'll, I think, become much better still.
Okay. So then, Ivory Coast. Let's get some updates on Ivory Coast then, Andrew. What's the latest goings on?
We've had a number of. If you look at the cadastre, you can see our applications on there. They're going through the system slowly, and it's quite a bureaucratic system, and it takes time, and they haven't made it through to grant all of them. But as in Burkina Faso, we have actually acquired a license from somebody, and that's a small payment because it needs to be renewed. But this is, again, like the ones in Burkina Faso, fantastic license, really fantastic. And when things reach a certain level of advancement there, we'll start making announcements about what we're doing in Ivory Coast as well as in Burkina Faso. But we've got reasonable experience personally and corporately, all of us in West Africa, and we know what we're doing. We can speak the language, obviously, and we are, I think we've managed to find our way to some really exceptional tenements that anybody would like to have, and that would be in high demand if we were to have a misstep and lose them for any reason. So we look at these other companies like Endeavour and so on. Obviously, there's a big distance from where we are to being in production and producing hundreds of thousands of ounces. But in terms of quality of license, that may not be where the big difference lies. The difference lies in the financial capabilities of the companies and the degrees of advancement of the projects, not in the quality of the assets themselves.
Okay. So how long will this trip be to the Congo, Andrew, to finish off? Is it hopefully going to be just a few days?
There are security considerations until this thing is finished.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to be a short visit to Kinshasa, and maybe a little bit longer in Lubumbashi.
Okay. But you will come back this time with it all signed, sealed, and delivered.
You say.
Yes, well, let's hope so. Well, thank you very much, Andrew Bell, CEO of Red Rock Resources, for giving us that update.
Thank you very much.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programmes at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.